right, welcome to Real Talk Real Estate.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop. 2025 edition. 2025 edition. We made it.
Yeah.
We made it. Oh my gosh, we made it. A whole nother day. It's been a while. It's been a while. We haven't been in the studio doing this for, I don't know, 6 months.
No, I kind of forgot.
We forgot we had to do
this.
We forgot how to do Real Talk Real Estate. So y'all are welcome. Here we go.
But you inspired us, people. We wanted to get out there and
we needed to bring it back.
We're planning on switching some things up and seeing what works and what doesn't. And of course, we appreciate your feedback. So if you have it, feel free to give it. Some of you guys will give it anyway. So go ahead and do so. But
we're assuming they have feedback.
Oh, look at that.
We're assuming they have feedback. Now, and if you don't have feedback, it's fine. We accept your feedback.
All right.
Graciously.
Yeah. Well, that's what's up.
Yes.
Well, I assume you have a topic for today. So.
I think I do. I think I do.
And an abundance of dad jokes. So we're going for it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, today we're going to dive right in and talk about loan assumptions. And it's not the type of assumption or assume like what did you say earlier?
Like making an A out of you and me?
You can probably like making an A out of ASS.
Making an ass out of you and me?
Yeah, not that kind of assume.
A play on the word assume?
Yes, no, not that kind of assume.
Although you are assuming something awesome in this case.
You are assuming something awesome in this case. And we are seeing a ton of loan assumptions out in the market right now. And we want to be able to provide a little snapshot of what that means.
What does that mean?
What does it mean?
Yeah. Especially like today, like the news came out, rates were sitting right above 7.
Craziness. So tell us what a loan assumption is, Brian.
I love that you had that little segue.
That was a good one.
Because that tidbit, and the rates do change, but that up-to-date information actually is great, because then we can talk about what if the rate you're assuming is 3%. That'd be a pretty big margin that you would be.
We happen to have just put a listing under contract with a 3% loan assumption. So this is my language right now. Yeah. We also have another seller that we are talking to that is has an assumable rate, and what that means for a potential buyer that is looking to buy the property. So let's just dive in. Let's talk about what an assumable rate is.
Well, I just want to kind of preface that this is not going to be like a typical 20-25 minute Real Talk Real Estate. We're actually looking at, kind of doing some different things and shaking it up like we talked about. So we're going to quickly
I don't know if we can.
Go over
I don't know
what
if we
it
can.
is. No, we can go over the basics. Yeah. We don't have to.
Yeah.
It's a process. Yeah. Let's be clear about that. It is a process, and it's going to take a lot deeper.
60 to 90 days on a loan assumption.
Well, yes, it's going to take a lot of days and a lot of time and a lot of explanation. But we'll kind of give you the basics and see if it's something that might work for you. Because if you're listing a house and you happen to have one of those great rates, it's really a pretty
How do you
awesome
have
deal.
a loan or an assumable loan? How do you know if you have an assumable loan on your house?
Go.
I know.
FHA, VA are typically, VA is always assumable. FHA is not always, but it's typically. And not all loans. Not all loans are assumable.
And they're not necessarily like, a VA loan can be assumed by another VA member, but they don't have to be. So there are exceptions to that.
Yes,
as well.
and that's
pretty cool.
Let's talk about that on a low level real quick. Sure. On a VA assumable loan, I am a non-VA member, meaning I did not serve in the military, but I want to assume that VA member's great interest rate. What does that mean?
Well, it means that is possible. However, the entitlement for that VA member is going to be tied up in that loan until you sell it.
Meaning that VA member will not be able to leverage their great VA benefit until that house sells.
And for some people, that's worth it, and it might work for them. Some military families have more than one entitlement because of
husband and wife being
and that kind of thing. So it can actually work out to your benefit. Yeah. However, if you are a VA member and you have the correct amount of entitlement on there, on the loan or to cover the loan, or i.e. cash, to cover that gap, then you can assume it under your entitlement.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
That's the easiest way. Yep.
There's a lot going on with all that. We just barely scratched the surface on all of the moving parts, and we're a little bit over our goal on the time that we wanted to.
I think we did good. This is this might be a lot to try to squeeze into 5 minutes, but basically.
But if you have questions, that's the thing is if you have a question about it and you want to know if you have an assumable loan, or you know that you want to buy a house with an assumable loan, how do you do that? There are lots of options right now out there, and what that means for you as a consumer or a potential seller or a buyer of a house, we can help walk you through that because we're right in the thick of the action right now in the market and walking people through this on the daily basis. So we're happy to help.
Well, and that could mean considerable savings. Like, you may have to jump through some hoops and do some things, but to save,
potentially 3% on your interest. Yeah.
That's huge.
Yes.
And so that's why, and if you're getting ready to list your house and you have a great rate, it's something to consider because it can really just, it's very desirable.
It can be a game changer for a buyer too. So
it shrinks down your days on market. Our average days on market has risen because we've had more houses on the market with high interest rates.
Totally.
And it, as a marketability piece, if your home is assumable, that loan is assumable, it's going to cut those down typically. So
100%.
It's a pretty sweet option, a way to market it a little bit better.
Yeah. So yeah.
Bingo. Yep. Give us a call.
Well, it was great to see you guys again and to bring you a nice tip for the new year. And we look forward to doing this, again. So thank you.
Yeah.
Take care.
Talk to you soon.